Okay, we are starting chapter 4 today. The title of chapter 4 is Graphing and Writing Linear Functions. This chapter is completely different from the book chapter. We have rearranged it so that it's much more application. It's not just, here's a formula, use this. It's, what does this mean? You know, how can we apply this to a situation? So this chapter has a lot of stuff in it, but it will help you a lot for Algebra 2 especially. Yes, geometry a little bit, but more so Algebra 2. We are going to start off with the basics. The very first lesson is to solve multivariable equations. In particular, we're going to take an equation and we're going to rearrange it so that it's isolated for y. Does anyone remember from last year putting an equation into y equals form? Raise your hand if you remember putting an equation into y equals form. No one? You did that in chapter 8 last year. You really don't remember? Or maybe do you not know what I'm talking about? Maybe that's why? Or you just don't remember it? Okay, so let me show you an example. We're going to start with number 2. Why do you need to do this? Why is this so important? Why is this an introduction to the chapter? In order to graph something, you must have it in y equals form. It's much, much easier, especially because using a table of values is not always fun. So the very first thing we need to do here on number 2, we need to solve this for y. So I want you to circle the y. Or highlight, but you don't have highlighters. So circle the y. We need to get y all by itself. It's kind of like solving an equation for x, but there's still going to be variables left over here. And in this case, we're solving for y. Does anyone have any idea what do we need to move first to get y by itself? Any idea? Maggie, take a guess. Good. Maggie, how do we get 2x to the other side? Good job. We need to subtract 2x on both sides. So we're getting y by itself. The very first thing you need to do is we need to move this whole term. It's a positive, so to get it off of this side, we're subtracting it from both sides. Now, here's the tricky part. You need to rewrite for y, rewrite your equal sign. Please write the x term first and then the number. Why am I having you do that? I want you to get in the habit of slope-intercept form, which you may not remember that. Always write the x term first and then the number. I want you to circle the y again. Now, we're almost done. What's the last thing you think we need to do? Zach? Okay, I thought that was a hand. Well, good. We are dividing by 4. We are dividing both sides by 4, but I want you to put a division symbol here, here, and here. Yes, we are dividing both sides by 4, but I want to break this down and keep it as simple as possible. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so those go away, right? We are left with y equals -2 over 4 simplifies to what? -2/4 is the same thing as negative what? Heather? -1/2. So -2/4 is really -1/2. If you don't know how to simplify a fraction by hand, take your calculator and divide -2 by 4. Hit enter, math, enter, enter, and it reduces it for you. And then, Amy, what's 8 divided by 4? Good. Plus, because it's a positive 2, 2. That's the answer. Are you guys with me? Give me a head nod this way or this way. Anyone have questions for that? If I didn't make sense on any part of it? Okay. Put a box around it or underline it. That's your answer. Any questions on that? Okay. Let's go to number 4. Okay, number 4, same process. We need to get this into y equals form. Circle the y. Again, if you had a highlighter, I'd have you highlight it, but circle the y. Reno, what's the very first thing we need to do here to get y by itself? How do we do that? Good job. So minus 6x on both sides. What you do on one side, you always have to do on the other. Please, when you rewrite this 3y, don't forget there's a negative in front. So -3y equals, what term are we always writing first? Well, good. Always write the x term first. It's a negative, so keep the negative in front. -6x plus 15. Dirk, what's the next step? Good job. I'm going to circle the y again because we need to get that by itself. We now divide both sides by -3, but I'm going to put 3 lines here. Divide by -3 here, as well as on the other side. But since there's 2 terms, I'm just going to try to keep it simple. I'm going to put 2 division bars. Watch the negative on this one. -3 divided by -3 is 1. So that cancels. That's gone. We are left with y equals, Melissa, what's -6 divided by -3? Okay. You can use your calculator if you need to. You don't have it out. Amy? 2. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. If you ever need to use your calculator, go for it. So since -6 divided by -3 is +2, you're writing down 2. And then, Heather, what's 15 divided by -3? Good, -5. Whenever you divide this, whether it's positive or negative, that tells you what sign goes here. Since it's -5, you need to have -5 as the second number. That's your answer. Okay, give me a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down on those 2 problems before I decide what I want to do next. All of you thumbs up? This is that easy? Okay. I want you to try number 5 on your own. Circle y, isolate it for y, get y by itself. Make sure your fractions are simplified completely. Make sure you write the x term first. Keep it as a fraction, not as a decimal. You know what I mean? Keep it as a fraction, not as a decimal. Please keep the number in front of x as an improper fraction, not a decimal and not a mixed number. I guess I should have said that. It's not that important yet, but when we start graphing, it's much easier to have it as an improper fraction instead of a decimal. Keep that as an improper fraction. Make sure you tell them that. Math, enter, enter. Oh, no. Ms. Wingrove, you don't know a lot about this calculator, do you? Okay. Just leave it like that for now, and I'll figure something out for you. Okay, Zach, what's the first step on this one? Good. -3x on both sides. Katron, whenever we're rewriting it at this point, what goes first? The x term. So -3x plus 12. John, next step. Good. Divide everything by 2. Matt, what'd you get for your answer? Good job. Y equals -3/2x plus 6. Questions? Anyone want me to do another example? Are you okay? Okay. Okay, I need you to open up your homework packet. I want to do one of those with you because a couple of them are a little different. So open up your homework packet to 3.8. I don't know what page it is in your packet. So if someone finds it, can you just tell me what page it is? It should be towards the back. Thank you. So page 19. You're going to do numbers 1 through 12. But I want to do one of them with you before you start. So you're going to do 1 through 12. You should have enough room. If not, there's paper in the back. Make sure you're getting all of them into y equals form. Okay, I want to start with number 10 with you, just because this one's a little bit different. So everyone look at number 10. Everyone find it before I start. Okay, number 10, what is different about number 10? Good, yes. There are variables on both sides. So there's a y on one side, there's an x on one side, and there's also numbers on both sides. So what do you think? If we need to get y by itself in number 10, and you should all be on number 10, what should we do first? So you're not confused on your homework. Chastity, did you find where we are? Page 19. It's like the second to last page in the homework packet. 3.8. Okay. Is everyone on number 10? Sam, you on number 10 with us? Okay. John, what do we do first? Good. The very first thing you need to do in number 10 is subtract 4 on both sides. Get the number to the other side. In other words, move any term that's in front of this y term. So minus 4 on both sides, gone. We have 6y equals 12x. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. So subtract. And then, Amanda, what's the next thing we need to do? Nope, careful. You want to get y by itself. Good job. Divide by 6. Remember, your goal is to get y by itself. So we now need to divide every term by 6. Okay, go ahead and do that, and then I need someone to tell us that hasn't answered in a while, what is the answer? Garrett, what'd you get? Good job. Y equals 2x minus 1. Any questions on how to simplify that? Okay, so that's it. You have 4 minutes. Go ahead and get started on the rest of them. Will, question? Yes, in number 2, after you subtract 6 on both sides, you're left with a negative y, which is really like a negative 1. So you'll have to divide every term by negative 1. So yes, if y is just negative, divide everything by negative 1. Will, does that make sense? Okay. Anyone else have general questions? Okay, I'm going to walk around a second here.